Hello, my name is Craig Hounsel, and this is the Atheist Experiment. Since this is the first episode, I'll tell you a bit about myself first, and then we can get down to it. I am 50 years old. I currently work as a certified welding inspector. I was a welder for 25 years. I have been a manager and a supervisor, and my passion probably lies in supervision. I have many hobbies, such as powerlifting, kayaking, solar wilderness camping, and more. I have a 25-year-old daughter, and my partner has a 14-year-old daughter, and I love her as my own, and we are a blended family. I am starting this video log for two reasons. Number one, I have been wanting to talk about my experiences with religion, along with my deconversion to atheism, for a long time, as an attempt to maybe help some other people who are struggling or questioning their faith. Recent events in my life have motivated me to hurry up and just do it, which brings me to number two. I have recently been diagnosed with stage 3 lung cancer that comes with a prognosis of 25 to 50% chance of successful treatment and recovery. So Monday, I had my first chemo and radiation treatments. It was relatively painless, and when I got home, I had some very mild side effects, just some mild nausea, headache, and tiredness. That only lasted a couple hours, and I woke up Tuesday morning feeling normal. The first day was the longest at 7 hours for chemo and 1 hour for radiation. The following days will be much shorter visits to the hospital, around 2 to 3 hours in total. I was given two options for treatment. Whichever one I choose will give me a 25% success rate, and there's a follow-up immune system treatment that increases it to 50% success rate. The difference is that one treatment is less harsh on my system, but there's a higher chance that I might develop a lung inflammation, and that would prevent the immune system treatment from taking place and would leave me at a 25% cure rate. The other treatment is much more harsh on my system, and the risk of lung inflammation is much less, which will qualify me for the immune system treatment, which brings me back up to 50% chance of full recovery. I chose the harsher of the two to increase my odds of survival. The treatment is called cisplatin. I woke up this morning, it's Wednesday now, and I felt much the same as the day before. Mild nausea and tired, but all in all, not too bad. My appetite has already begun to be suppressed, so I must actively remind myself to eat, and I can't depend on my body to tell me when I am hungry anymore. That's enough about that for now. Let's introduce you to my thoughts on atheism. As I begin to speak about my atheism, I want to make a couple of things very clear. I am not blaming my parents or anyone else. My childhood indoctrination was not intentional or meant to be harmful in any way. Those who participated in my indoctrination were just victims of bad ideas, passed down from a time when religion made sense to early tribes. I'm not trying to convince anyone of anything. I'm not professing to have all the answers, or even to think I am right about anything. I'm just telling my story. Why did I ask all these questions as a child, but never pursued better answers? What is my purpose in writing this? What do I hope to gain? Am I less interested in reaching people that already side with my views? It's important to clarify what the word atheist means, or means to me. I think the word gets misrepresented, and certainly misunderstood. I can make this claim because I was once on the other side of the fence, knowing nothing about atheism, except that it sounded evil or satanic. I had visions of wild and crazy drunken orgies with red painted skin and maniacal laughing. So the following is what I've learned about atheism. Succinctly, it is the knowledge that there is no meaningful reason to believe a God or supernatural being exists. The long form answer, or how it is defined for me personally, goes as follows. Atheism is not something. It is the absence of something. Atheism is not believing in something other than religion. In language, we often apply words to something that is really just a concise description of the absence of something. For example, darkness in and of itself is not something. It is the absence of light. Cold is not something. It is the absence of heat. Silence is not something. It is the absence of sound. In comparison, atheism is not something. It is the absence of religion. So we apply the word atheism as a placeholder name to fill the void, as a concise way of describing the lack of religion, the removal for the need of a God or creator, and the refusal to live by dogma of any kind. One thing missing from the English language is a concise word for the acceptance and understanding of the science-based revelations about the universe we live in. I have trouble using the phrase, "I believe," in science. The word believe has its place in reality, and we all believe things. For example, I believe that philosophy is a great tool to encourage critical thinking. But the word also implies some kind of dogmatic faith in something that is beyond understanding. A person can believe in God, believe in a creator, believe in a Bible or the Quran, astrology, holistic medicine, but you cannot and should not believe in science. I like to say that I am confident in science and the scientific method. So in conclusion, I can't be categorized as an atheist, a placeholder word for nothing. I prefer to be categorized as a humanist, something tangible that I can take action on and make some kind of difference in this world of religious infiltration and dogma. I'll tell you a little bit about my deconversion story. I don't think there was a specific catalyst, no moment when I said, "Fuck, what am I doing?" It was much more gradual. Around the age of 35, I started reading and studying philosophy. That started me on a journey. I always had an interest or obsession with the really big questions. And what I started to realize was how closely connected philosophy was connected to science. Also, an interest of mine, but I never really chased it. The more science I read, the more philosophy I read, and the more philosophy I read, the more science I read, and so on and so on. One day, I was thinking about the connection between these two areas of study and my religion. It occurred to me that I had never read the Bible. I just trusted the dogma that was spoon-fed to me by the church. I decided it was time to read the Bible. What a revelation, so to speak. The truth of what I read was so apparent. To put it succinctly, what a lot of bullshit. I started to really question my faith after that. By the way, I highly recommend Christians to read the Bible. It's the best deconversion tool you'll ever come across. Well, then I discovered YouTube, and I became obsessed with watching as many science, philosophy, and religion videos as I could find. Seth Andrews, Matt Dillahunty, Christopher Hitchens, Richard Dawkins, Aaron Raw, Neil deGrasse Tyson, Bill Nye, Ken Ham, and so many more. I don't remember when I first proclaimed to be an atheist out loud. It was a couple of years ago, but I remember how it made me feel. It jolted me a bit, but it was also freeing. I was with my partner and daughters, and we had a couple friends over. After that moment, I never looked back. I went from being a full-on Christian to being a full-on atheist. Wow. Telling my parents was the toughest. My parents are very Christian, so I feared how they would take the news. I didn't know if telling them was even the right thing to do. They are seniors, so I always said, I will tell them after they passed away. What would there be to gain by telling them? Let them think I am still Christian. What harm could it do? Well, then I got my diagnosis. Now it is possible that I might die before them. I was now at a crossroads. It is very important to me to have a secular funeral. and I don't want it to get complicated by religious hijacking of my wishes. I had to tell them. I wrote them and my sisters a loving letter proclaiming my atheist humanist position. 4 days went by and I got no response from anyone. On the 5th day, my mom sent me a text. Just wanted to let you know I love you with all my heart. What time is your appointment on Monday? It's the answer I expected, and that's great for me. I finally feel like I can live my authentic life, at least for a few more months anyway. Thank you.